is the definition of fascism?
Fascism, an authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization.
You heard it, right? Right wing. You know that the right wing refers to Congress. The Republicans sit on the right wing of Congress. That just makes me mad because Google is now implying that fascism is right wing. Republican.
Newsflash, you're a fascist. Did you know? I mean, with all the people screaming at the Berkeley riots a couple weeks back? Yeah, all fascists, get out! All fascists, get out! Well, we, riot and burn the buildings down of which we use, that's what you get for being in our country, you fascists, and not knowing how peaceful communism would be, or what the fuck ever they're trying to say.
Google has changed the definition of the word fascism to protect the new normal in free speech. Paid liberal thugs using violence to silence any speech with which they disagree politically. These are the fascists of old, and they are coming to steal your republic. This is not a joke. Now let's go to the dictionaries.
So I just got back from my local library, picked up this American Heritage College Dictionary from 2005 to look up the words fascist and fascism. After a few recent debates with some liberal acquaintances of mine who righteously declare that a fascist or fascism can only be a right-wing ideology by definition, I took to the library and dug through a few dictionaries that were not on the internet to prove that the definition of those two words has been changed. This dictionary is from 2005, and after a few hours of research at the library, I found that any dictionary that predates 2009 has a certain definition of the word fascism, the correct one, and any dictionary that postdates 2009 has the new updated definition of fascism and fascist, updated with right-wing. So first let me show you the incorrect liberal version of the definition of fascism. So right here they say any right-wing nationalist ideology or movement that is fundamentally opposed to democracy and liberalism. So there it is, right-wing, any right-wing movement that is opposed to liberalism. That is an incorrect definition. And number two, they say any ideology, movement, or tendency that may be characterized as right-wing. So they're saying any movement that might be characterized as right-wing is fascism. So I looked at about 10 dictionaries, and any dictionary that predates 2009 has this definition of fascism in it. A system of government marked by a totalitarian dictator, socio-economic control, suppression of the opposition, a policy of belligerent nationalism and racism, a political philosophy or movement based on or advocating such a system. So, i.e. Italian fascismo. So this is the correct definition of fascism. Upon reviewing the correct definition of the word fascism in a few dictionaries in the library, one of the things that stood out to me the most was the part that says suppression of the opposition. Suppression of the opposition. What does that remind you of? And you could try to convince me until you're blue in the face on how Hitler was right-wing, but the actual fact of the matter is the social and economic policies as well as the political policies of Hitler were as far left as they come. He was one of the first ones to introduce free government housing, free government food, government subsidies galore, single-payer health care. Wait, that sounds pretty familiar actually. Who was that? Who said that? Social programs, government housing, free food, single-payer healthcare is a right. Bernie Sanders.
Google just called half this country fascist. Who else was a fascist? Oh, Hitler was a fascist. That just makes me angry at the very core of who I am. That is pure propaganda. Unfettered, unchecked, unbalanced propaganda. They take the little bitty word and they drop it in there and they start making people think a little bit different about it. Republicans are not fascist. Right wing doesn't mean you're fascist. And that just makes me angry.